It's Caroline here from Aussie Cards and Crafts, and today I'm glad you've joined me because what I'd like to show you is how to make a slider card. Now this was a prototype that was done by somebody else, and I must admit I pulled it apart and put it back together again. But as you can see, as you slide up that little tab, the greeting is shown, and yeah, you can either have it as a tent fold card, which is what I'm going to be doing today, or alternatively you can have it laying down, and obviously you'll then see that the beautiful whatever you put display there. So that was one of them. That's slightly smaller than the one I'm going to do today, but I do have a die for that. They're an unbranded die from China, but if anybody wants one, let me know. So I'll pop that to one side. I've also done a prototype here, and as you can see, this is a different size. I'm going to do something a little bit different with this, but you can see as you pull it up, you can see your sentiment down there. I'm going to attach my topper as being a Christmas tree, and I'm going to have some presents that I've die cut there, put around the Christmas tree. So that's what I'm doing today. Now a lot of the work I've actually done already. This here is something that I saw on a mixed up craft tutorial by Sam Calcott in the UK. She was doing a display or a tutorial on how to use up scraps, and I think that I think from memory she didn't actually realize that it looked like a Christmas tree at first, but then she thought, oh, I can use that. That looks great. So I'm going to show you how quickly to make one of those, and then we'll go into the mechanism and how we do that, because that is actually done with a die. Once again, it's an unbranded one from China. I do have some spare if anybody would like. Just message me on the Facebook site. But yeah, this is a slider die, and they call it a slider card. So there's a few things that I've used. So I've used that. For the presents just here, I've actually used these presents here. Now this is an edging die, and on there you'll see that there's lots of presents. Now this is a made to surprise, so this is once again a Sam Calcott one, and I must admit I do have problems with these. Some of the centers of them don't actually push out. They did credit me this, but I'm just going to use them for what I'm doing here. It doesn't really matter. So this, I might add that that's the only one that I've ever had that's had an issue with it. All of the Made to Surprise dies and stamps have worked absolutely beautifully. So that's what I've used for the presents. I wanted a star at the top of my tree just there. So I've got this one, and I've got no idea where it's from. I bought it a long time ago locally here in South Australia. I call it Tree Words because it's got joy, love, peace, believe, Christmas. And I just wanted the star, and that was the first one I saw. So what I literally did, and I think I might even have the piece here. No, I don't. I actually had, yes I did, no I don't. I had a tiny little piece of gold that was an offcut, and I put some tape on it, and I then die cut just that star out, and that is the star that you see there at the top of the tree. I put some tape on it behind, on the back of it first, and then die cut it because it makes it so much easier to put on. So that was a little tip that I got from the lady from Iced Images tutorials. So that was the one that I did there. You'll notice that I have already done my sentiment, and I've used Just For You at Christmas, and this one is just a cute Christmas die and stamp. I don't even know where I got it, but it's got dies on it, and it's quite a pretty one actually, and I've just used Just For You at Christmas just from there. So that's what I have been using. What I first would like to do is just show you how to make this part here. And I'm just going to grab a piece of scrap paper to do this on. This will do. That's what I've used my base on. So, and it's got a mark on it there too, so it doesn't matter. So what you need to do is you need to use stitched squared, or it doesn't have to be stitched, they can be just plain square dies. And what you need to do is you need to actually, you'll see that these are all taped together. So you need to tape them together so that there's even border. Now I had a huge trouble getting them even, and eventually what I did is I set them down here on a piece of magnet. I put them where I wanted, and then I put washi tape over them. Okay, that's the only way I could get them to actually line up properly. So that's how I did mine. I then ran it like that in one piece through my die cutting machine, and that's what the result is. Okay, so I ran just red and green. That was done with glitter card. This was done with just plain card to show you, but it's very, very easy to put together. So if we start with our biggest piece, I'll start it just here. I'll start it down here. I might pop it the other way, that might be better. So you pop your biggest piece there. You're going to need your the green in the biggest piece in a moment. Then you go to your green second piece, and all you do is put that like so over the top. Okay, so that these two match. And I can actually probably could glue these in now. Then you go to, just dropped a piece. Okay, so then that piece here can then go up for the bottom part. You then need a red one again, so the next of your largest ones of the red one you pop up there, and then that's not right. You can see because these will be these are supposed to be even. So the red one is that one. Okay, and then you go to, so your green one, that size can go up there. Then you go to your next size, which will be this one. Okay, and you can see that you're doing it right because you've got it there. So the same size goes up there. You then go to red, like so. Then you go pop the green one of that size up there. And then I need the green one of this size. Red one up there. And it looks like I'm missing a piece. I'm not sure where that piece has gone. Goodness me. That's not it. Okay, you get the idea anyway. So we could probably just leave it there and then put our red one at the top there. And then with pieces that you have actually taken out here, you start with your biggest one again, which is the green one. Slide it right the way under all of those pieces. Okay, and then you pop it up like so. You can actually, and what I would suggest you do is before you start putting the bottom pieces in, you glue these pieces in. So you would glue your first one, which is your green one. So we can probably just quickly do this for you just so you see. I'll speed it up on the camera, but don't go past that first, like the triangle. Okay, so don't glue anything on the I'll pop that just about there, and then I'll go with the red once again, only gluing like so. Okay, so there's the top part done, and I probably should have brought it down a little bit because it's over the top there. It doesn't really matter because we're going to cut all of this out when it's dry anyway, or I would do if I was going to be using it, but this is just a sample. So what I now need to show, oh, that one's already stuck down. What you do is you then just pop your other ones under here. Okay, so once again, you'll need to glue them. Oops, big glob of glue there, which isn't ideal for what we're doing. So I'll just lift those up. Oh. So I'll just lift those up slightly and this one's got too much glue on it. But you just slide it in under those. Okay. That one doesn't want to go in properly. There we go. Okay, so I've got glue everywhere on that, but it really is only a trial. This one is just kind of just to show you how I've made that Christmas tree. That's that, and then what I did was I popped, as you can see there. Now I only used that amount, so I actually cut mine off just here and here, and I just used a knife. I waited for it to all dry. You obviously glue these down as well, just so that they're not sticking up. I'm getting glue everywhere here. I must get myself some more glue. But you just pop those down so that they don't come adrift. And then what you do when that's all dry, you cut around the outside, because as you can see that's on a plain green. And I just, as I said, I cut the star out and popped it on. But you can see that's all that I've used. What happens down here, you can do whatever you like with. I've got mine just here. I might pop mine on an envelope, or that piece there, I might cut it out and use it for something else. I don't know yet, but I won't throw it away. I didn't use the biggest pieces on mine either. I only used the ones coming down because of the size that I had to do. So it's a really quick technique, and these were just done with two pieces of scrap that were that size. So very, very simple, very effective though. So that's what I'm using today, and that's how I did it. I'll pop that up there. Now to use the mechanism, now to go to the mechanism. Now our mechanism is this slider die here. Now it comes in two pieces. We've got that piece there, and then we've got the tab piece just here, or the core piece. So what I've done is I've used a base card. Now my base card is 11.5 inches. I'll just grab my board here so I can go through this with you. That's right. So my base card is 11.5 inches by 4.5 inches, and that's a specific size to fit this die. And then along the 11.5 inch, I have scored at 5 3/4 inches. Okay, now that's right in the middle, so then that folds over, and there is our base card. That's the front because I've already put the sentiment on it. You then need another piece of card which is going to measure roughly 5 inches by, if you had 5 inches by 4 inches, you would get the die cut out of it. So, and I've chosen to use the same color because this is the piece that's actually going to slide up. And if I can find my prototype, I'll show you what I mean. So that this piece here is this here. Okay. So what I now need to do, this piece, this main die piece here is, you'll see that it's got these cut out pieces. So this is what is actually going to basically be pulled up. That one hasn't actually been. So when you die cut this piece, you will see that there are score lines just there, just there, just there. The others are cut lines. These ones are only score lines. So this is how the piece comes out without the tape, obviously. So it's got this little tongue that comes out in the middle, and it's got that tab so that you can actually see that you've got to pull it. So what you do is when that comes out, you fold the first one over into a valley fold, you fold the next one over into a mountain fold, and you fold the top one over into a valley fold as well, and burnish them well. Next, what you need to do is you need to turn your card over, and you can see that I've actually put the tape on already. I use red tape for this one because I think that it is actually stronger. Now, what we need to do, that is the top of our card, okay? So what we now need to do is we need to put this piece right on the edge of this piece. And you will see what I have done is I've actually laid it on there, and to make sure it's centered, I've brought it up a little bit and I've just put little pencil marks both there and there, and that's going to help me place it when I actually glue, or not glue, but tape it onto that tab just here. So I'm going to do that now. I'll take off the topping of that red tape, and of course it glues to me, which is always the way with the tape. And you can see now, what you can probably see my head, but I'm actually lining up those two pencil marks and making sure that where I'm placing this is right on the edge of that tab. Okay, there we go. So now what will happen is you can pull that up like so. Okay, now on the back here you'll see that we've got, when you actually cut it out, this will also cut out for you as well. Okay, now this is the tab. Now I don't like to see too much of a tab at the top there, so what I'm going to do, and you'll see that I have positioned this just there, so that is the correct position. So if I, oopsies, and of course I've dropped it, there it is. So you can see that's actually come out of there. So what we do is we use that as the tab, and I just want a little piece just at the top. So that basically indicates to people that you pull it. So I've already put some tape on it. So I'll take the top off, and you can have this as big as you want, but I don't particularly like it to be too big. So once again, you'll see that I've got my two little markers there, and I did that by putting it up against this piece here. So I am now just going to place that in between those two markers with red tape, and that then gives us our lovely little tab to pull onto. What happens now is we need to attach this to our base card. Okay, so what I have done is I have left roughly 1/8 of an inch around, so that's basically what's going to happen there. And then once it's stuck down, you can then pull this up and you'll see your sentiment. Now, as I said, I've done a lot of this already, so I've got my tape on. So I'm going to take my tape off. Oh, that's right, that was a tiny piece. Just make sure that your tape does not interfere at all or come even anywhere close to this mechanism here. Okay, so this piece here has to be completely standalone. Now, one thing I should say to you before I actually do this, the way I managed to get this in place and get my my sentiment in place is I pulled it up, placed it where it should be, and you'll see that I've put two little markers there so that it's got to be underneath that, because that's where I want my sentiment to read. So that you do that obviously before you actually attach this to the card. So I've got there just for you at Christmas, but that's how you do it. You lay it down first, position it correctly, and then make a mark to make sure that your sentiment on this card is in the right spot. Okay, so moving back, now what I need to do is making sure that you've got a nice even border. You need to stick this down. Now you're only sticking it along the sides and the bottom. So there is our card, and there you have it. That's the mechanism, and that is how easy it is to make. So what we're going to do, and I have actually already done a lot of this, obviously that was what I showed you initially. I am going to pop this down. Now, when you pull this up, you'll see that you've got your little tab just there. Nothing, and I'm repeat, nothing must go below that fold line there, otherwise it will not work. So everything has got to be above that fold line. So we need to stick this down on there. Now to do that, I'm going to use red tape again, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop it down just on that pull-up piece and above the line. Has to be above that score line. Okay. There we go. Now, center that, making sure it's sitting either just above or on that score line. Okay. And we're going to put some presents there in a moment as well, but you can now see how your Christmas tree stands up. Okay. So now what I've also done is I've gone and done the presents, and I'm just going to speed up while I attach these, but I'm just going to pop the presents on there. Okay, so there we have it. I really like it. It's got a little bit of dimension. By all means, you could use it as a tent fold card, and then you would see it just like that from the mantelpiece. Alternatively, you would pull it up, you would see the message, just for you at Christmas, and then this part, oh, I'm hoping that's right. This part is what you can see. So it's a beautiful card. It's a very simple mechanism to use. The first one I did of these, I didn't have a die, and yeah, it wasn't difficult. If anybody wants to know how to do it without the die, I can probably send you some instructions, but I do have 2 dies available. When I buy some of these, I quite often buy extras. So if anybody's interested in seeing this, as I said, it is actually an unbranded one. It's not one of mine, or it's not anything like that. But yeah, I actually quite like it. It's a lovely little Christmas card, and it's great to be able to sit on the mantelpiece like that with the message. You could also put a message on the top there if you wanted to, but probably you're either going to have it that way, or you're going to have it like so, where you're not going to see it. You also can put Paul if you want, but I think just having a tab there is a little bit more discreet. So there you go. If you like the video, please give me a thumbs up and maybe subscribe to my channel. That would really help me. If you're a member of our Facebook group, at the moment it's October 2021, and we have a competition on at the moment. The competition is to view one of the Aussie Cards and Crafts tutorials and put your adaptation or your spin on it, and let's see what you come up with. So by all means, this one, it doesn't finish till the end of this month. As I say, it's October 2021 at the moment, so if you're watching it in the future, it won't be available, but right now it is available. And if you'd like to do this one, please feel free to. If you're not a member of our Facebook page, please head on over to Aussie Cards and Crafts on Facebook, put a friend request, and I or one of our administrators will be happy to welcome you. I simply love this. I've actually got a little piece of this left, and I'm actually going to fussy cut some of these out, because I don't know whether you can see it or not, but it's almost as if it's got glitter and glossy accents on some of these flowers and leaves here, and it really is a beautiful piece of paper. So I thought I might cut some of those out and just put them around and dot them inside, and then stamp a further greeting in there. So thanks for listening. I look forward to seeing you soon, and I hope you've enjoyed the video. See ya. Bye.